Welcome to Young and Finch, the podcast made by Korean millennials. Hey guys, welcome back to Young and Finch. This is Andrew and I'm here with Josh and Brian. For this week's episode, we're going to be talking about traveling. Where do we want to go? Where have we been? And maybe some potential areas that we might want to move, maybe? I don't know. We'll find out, guys. How are you guys?
Oh, where we want to move, eh?
I know.
I don't know. I was thinking maybe you go to a place and you really enjoyed it, and you never know, right? You might want to, I don't know, maybe live there.
Yeah, definitely.
Like for me, I'd be down to live in LA or Vancouver maybe later down my life.
Oh,
but,
yeah. Eh?
But like this later, you know, because of the weather. Sorry.
And because of COVID.
Well, I mean, COVID, I think by then it'll be okay. Hopefully. Knock on wood. Sorry. Anyways, let's just start off with some, area or countries, places you have been to.
Sure.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I know Josh went to Vancouver recently.
Yes, sir.
But I guess, is there any other places that was interesting to you and something that's worth keeping the memory? Sorry.
As opposed to deleting it from my database.
What the?
Like, how many countries have you guys been to? Can you guys count?
I mean, for me, it's not that many. So, like 4, maybe.
Which four? Like Canada, Korea, States?
Canada, Korea, States, India.
Oh, India,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, India.
Damn.
I think that's it.
No, that's pretty good. Brian, what about you?
I don't know, maybe around like 10.
Damn, that's a lot.
Damn.
Yeah.
I think I'm like right in the middle. But what 10?
Well, most recently I've been to like Japan, Korea, Australia, Vietnam, Thailand,
Yeah.
China, and then like when I was little, I think we've been to like Singapore.
Ooh.
Been to the States.
Mm-hmm.
I guess Mexico, Cancun counts as one.
Yeah.
Of course it does.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's it.
Damn. Yeah, that Asian circuit really racks up the numbers, eh?
Yeah. We did a little like Southeast Asia backpacking trip like a few years ago.
Damn. Okay, we got to dive into that later.
Yeah, we'll dive into that. But
Right.
how about you? How many places?
For me, it was 6. So Canada, America, Mexico. I went to Iceland, Africa, in Togo, and then I went to China. So that's 6 countries.
Wait, you went to Africa and Iceland? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I went to Africa and Iceland.
Damn. Africa is definitely a place I want to visit.
Africa?
Yeah.
But I mean, I was in Togo, so it wasn't like... It was
Yeah,
like
why Togo out of all
smaller-
the places?
Togo?
Yeah. What is
We'll
it?
get into that.
Okay, true.
Yeah, I think like some of our traveling was not for like traveling.
Yeah, not always for like leisure and entertainment.
Yeah.
Oh, was this for like... Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get into that.
Yeah. Although like I haven't traveled that much because I'm not really much of a traveler.
Yeah.
But I think I currently live with my dog, so that's like my major reason why I can't travel
Yeah,
right now.
responsibilities.
Yeah, pretty much. So I'd love to go up, like if I have time first of all to go, and I kind of want to do the backtracking on Southeast Asia too.
Yeah, dude.
But at the same time, I kind of don't want to. Isn't it kind of tough to have not that much clothes? I know the purpose of backtracking is to just take as little as you can and go to as many countries as you can, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like that would be very
Yeah,
I guess, yeah.
it's definitely not like luxury where you like live in a hotel and like you have like suitcases of clothes already. You're just carrying like this big ass backpack around your back, and you do laundry wherever you can. But there's still like a beauty in that. You meet with people.
Yeah,
at like hostels and.
Yeah, when I went to Korea, I actually met so many like cool people at a hostel because I stayed at a hostel for like a week or two.
Yeah.
Just to see.
Yeah.
And I could definitely see like if I go to other countries and went to the hostel, you could literally just chill with the people at the hostel.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
Yeah.
It's like you guys are all experiencing the same new experiences together kind of thing. So it's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe down the road I'll try that, but
when you said you're not like a traveler or traveling type, does that mean like you don't like traveling, or you
like,
just haven't traveled a lot?
I think it's a bit of both because I don't really like to plan for traveling, first of all.
Yeah.
So if I were to go with somebody and they were down to, because some people like to plan.
Yeah.
And with those people, I'd be down to go. But if it was, I don't.
So you don't want to do any work. You just bring your ass on the plane.
Dirty parasite.
Well, yeah, I'll pay for my dues, but because I know people that actually do like planning the trip, which I'm okay with, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're okay with me not doing anything because they just want to. I just lay down the rules like, as long as we don't go to museums, I'm down. Because I'm not really a museum.
So you can't travel with Josh, eh?
Yeah, I'm
conflicts of interest.
I'm not an arts of. I like architecture a lot actually, but like paintings and I think it's the part where you have to read and understand what the artists are portraying or some shit.
I'm not a huge fan of that either.
That's completely valid.
Yeah, and I just don't like to read.
I'll just never travel with you guys. No, I'm playing.
Yeah. But anyways, so.
Like if it's like a popular museum, like the one in like
MoMA or Guggenheim or something.
Yeah.
Like the big boys or
like if it's like some fucking random gallery in the middle of nowhere.
I lived in New York for 2 years and I've never been to.
Oh, dude, that's like a crime, dude.
I don't know what it's called. This is the one in Upper
the Solomon Guggenheim
or Upper West Side. Yeah,
it's like the big white one.
Yeah,
like
I haven't been there once. I don't think I've been to MoMA either.
I mean, that's fair. That hurts me a little bit, but that's fair.
I haven't been to any museums when I was in New York for 2.5 years, which is crazy.
True.
Hey man, just your interest, right?
Yeah, but I've been to Broadway shows, which was actually really nice. Yeah, so I guess I'm more of like a moving visual type.
Yeah.
Extra. I don't know.
Dude, no, like not everyone has to like galleries. A lot of people hate galleries.
Yeah, no, it's just like the thing is when you go on dates though, like a lot of girls like
chicks love galleries.
Yeah, chicks love galleries. So it's like I gotta pretend to like it, you know?
Yeah, you're like, the way that the blue and the red. She's like, oh my god, Andrew's so deep.
This one time, like, this is not really related to traveling, but just as a side note, I was on a date, like it was a sogeting date.
Okay.
And then we we're just talking about interests. And this fucking girl was like, I love museums. Like I would love to go to like every museum and just like go through the whole painting and just read. I was like, oh, true. Yeah, that sounds interesting. But in the back of my mind, I was just like, shit, this is not gonna win. That's not like a conflict of interest on a first date.
I'm about to unmatch this girl. Yeah. or sogeting or whatever, yeah.
Anyways, I just thought of that. Anyways, yeah. So my point of traveling is if I were to travel alone, I'm really indecisive, so it's kind of tough for me to plan. And at the same time, it's like I don't want to plan.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I don't like traveling that much.
Because it's a lot of prep work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I'm a type of person that enjoys their time not doing a lot of things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So like doing nothing.
Yeah.
That's how I kind of de-stress. But traveling, I don't know. There's a lot of things you want to do if you travel, so you're kind of like indirectly pressured to go out and enjoy things that you can, and that's kind of tiring for me. So yeah, I mean, one of my questions is like, would you guys rather go to resorts or like a planned what do you call those? Tours, planned tourism or whatever, versus like figuring it out your own.
Mm-hmm.
And then for me, it'd be, I think I'd choose like resorts or tours. But unless it's like a city that I really want to go to, so like Spain or not city, country. Like Spain.
I love that city.
Or UK, like stuff like that, I think I could figure out on my own. But if I
Yeah.
were to go to like let's say Mexico, right?
Mm-hmm.
Would you guys go to a resort or like kind of go around Mexico yourselves?
Yeah. I mean, it depends on the vibe. It depends on where in Mexico too, right? Like some places are dangerous,
Right.
and some places it's a get better if you know someone if you want to go around.
Right.
So,
But like Mexico, yeah, but Mexico's known for their resorts kind of thing, and
yeah, for sure.
and their food. So
Yeah. The only thing with it's like the only thing with the resorts and stuff is you miss out on, I think, a lot of the cultural experience. Like you're
Right.
not seeing classic, like, like historical landmarks. Like you're not trying too much of the authentic food and engaging and kind of like interacting with the people. You're kind of like eating fucking burgers and having mojitos while sitting next to the fucking beach, right? Which is great. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with either, but it's like, what are you getting out of it? It's, I guess, the contemplation, right?
right.
But no, it's interesting because I was actually gonna ask you guys about your travel philosophy, and it sounds like yours is pretty clear, and it sounds like it's kind of conflicting with like what traveling
is,
comes with. Yeah, so it's like no, and again, I think that's totally valid, and it's interesting because I think most people are like, I love traveling, like I love everything, but it's nice to hear that, not everyone like is like, oh, like I love traveling,
Yeah, I mean, I do enjoy it. It's just
Yeah, for sure.
like you said, there's a conflict of interests.
Yeah.
And that kind of reflects on how many times I've traveled. Not a lot.
No, fair enough. And
Yeah.
Brian, so like, what about you? What's your travel philosophy like going into it? Like, what kind of traveler are you?
I'm a nomad traveler. Sorry,
You're a nomad?
nomad traveler.
I'm a poor man. Sorry.
Nah, I mean, like when I did the backpacking trip, so I started off in China, went to Thailand, Vietnam, and then Korea.
Mm-hmm.
But that was like my first backpacking trip, and it was like I was doing it alone. I didn't go with anybody.
Yeah.
So I actually prepared quite a bit for that because I just didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, might as well get everything planned so that by the time I go there, like, I'm not like lost. At least I have something to do. So I actually had like a Google Doc, like outlining like all the places that I wanted to hit up, and things like that. And so I guess at that time I was more of a planned traveler. But I also found that like one of the best things to do about traveling is to be a little bit more like spontaneous.
Yeah, for sure.
So like, when you're hanging out when you meet someone for the first time, if you guys want to like hit up like here or something like that, they'll recommend, let's go over here. And I found that, there is a lot of beauty and like new experiences that you can get from being spontaneous.
Yeah.
So I think just from having that experience, like I do appreciate the fact that I do prepare it like ahead of time, but I wouldn't mind going out of the way a little bit. And I'm sure a lot of people are like that, But
Yeah, you'd be surprised. Some people are like, we made an itinerary. We're sticking with it.
I can't. Fuck with
Yeah.
that. It's got to have some. Like I like to have like a general idea of where I want to go, but like if I want to spend a couple more hours here, I like to stick around. And,
Yeah.
I'm like
I
the
completely
opposite of
agree.
Brian, where I plan very little and it's mostly spontaneous.
Yeah.
Sorry. That's how I went for Korea, and it didn't really bode well because there's a lot of days where I was just doing nothing because I had nothing planned.
Oh, so
Yeah.
it's like it kind of didn't. Oh, but like wasn't that good though? Since you kind of like relaxing, but was it boring?
But it was kind of like pressure on me because it's like I had to. It's like I'm in another country. I have to explore, but I'm not. So
Yeah.
it's like
You're just
it's
like
not-
on
it's
your
either
phone.
way. Yeah, it's like either way, I'm getting pressured.
Yeah.
Bro, might as well stay at home at that point.
Yeah, exactly. No, seriously.
No.
Where'd you go all the way to Korea then?
I went to experience the PC bangs. Sorry. It's lit though. Sorry.
You went to lose at ARAMs.
It's not intact though. Sorry.
It's jokes. No, I'm like along the same wavelengths as Brian. I'm like I like planning because I think like I like to know where I want to go and I like to see like what I want to stop by, but then also obviously leaving windows for opportunity and flexibility. Also, it's like when you're traveling alone, I think you have a lot more. You have control over 100% of it, right? But the moment you start adding other people, not that there's anything wrong with that, depending on the situation, but once you start adding like a group, it's like, okay, now you have the things that you want to visit, but you also have things that they want to visit, and it's like, you know, you have to. It's like all compromise at that point, right? And you have to be willing to give things up, which is, it's part of it, but
yeah, it's a different dynamic, definitely.
Yeah,
that's why I think everyone should like try traveling alone.
Yeah,
because like
definitely
you learn so much about yourself, and like now that I look back, it's probably one of the best like decisions I've made in my life. Because like before, I was like fucking terrified to go, you know, like backpacking trip on my own to like a fucking country that I've never even been, like the languages I don't even speak.
Yeah,
but like once you're in the middle of all that, like you just, you know, kind of trailblaze your own path, and I don't know. I think it was definitely a good, you know, experience for my growth.
I'm pretty sure like they speak English like a little bit, no? Still?
Some places, nah, man. You gotta like
really?
do the sign language, be like,
yeah.
Where's that?
You gotta be like
yeah, bro.
Throw up gang signs.
Yeah. But there's a beauty in that too. It's fun, you know. You interact with locals like that, and then like most of the time they're trying to help you out and shit.
Be like, wait, waka flocka?
Dirty.
Yeah.
Wait, where in China did you go?
I started off in Shanghai and then went to Beijing.
Yeah,
I think like the main areas. I didn't go
anywhere. Beijing also, it's like, it's not super like. Is it? I don't remember if it was foreigner friendly like when I went.
Beijing is more like I would say traditional.
Yeah, like it was harder to get around with English.
Yeah. Whereas Shanghai is a little bit more like westernized, like more business, like more like modernized, I guess.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But yeah, it's good times, man.
Have you ever been in countries that you could see yourself living in?
Yeah.
Both of you?
That's a good one. Do you have you been?
Yeah. Honestly, for me, it was Vancouver.
Well, that's not a country, but.
Oh, okay, well.
Vancouver.
I mean, not a country. Let's
Canada.
Let's say a place.
Yeah, cities. Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah.
Why Vancouver though?
It was very scenic. And Scenic.
Yeah.
And just, I remember going in August, and the weather was just perfect, and like the Stanley Park, it was just a lot of like nature, which I really enjoyed.
Yeah, dude, it was absolutely gorgeous. Like everywhere you look, it's a mountain or the ocean, or both. The air is different. It's like, the whole city is really beautiful.
Yeah, it's just very clear, you know.
I don't know if I'm biased about Toronto, but like I feel like there is more things to do in Vancouver. Would you guys agree?
More outdoor things.
Yeah, more outdoor things. Yeah,
yeah.
Like more places to visit, more places to hit up.
Yeah, I think so. But when I went, I loved it there. And it's my first time going back to Vancouver since I was actually born there. So I was born there, and I left, and I haven't gone back since. So it's my first time seeing Stanley Park in like 25 years or whatever. Yeah. Not 25, like more like 22. But I agree with Andrew. But I'm going to say, I think I'm more of a city person. That this, like Vancouver as a city, I feel like was lacking. It didn't hit like that sweet spot for me. Like for me, at one place I went to that I could see myself living was actually Chicago. Like the way that the city is constructed and the way that it's laid out, and the energy, I think like the vibe I get from the actual city of downtown Chicago, it was very similar to Toronto, but just taller, because all the buildings are so tall, right? So Chicago I thought was a city that I could see myself living in.
Yeah, Chicago's a vibe.
Yeah, so nice. And the deep dish pizza though,
yeah.
Yo, forget about it.
Yeah.
I guess you don't take weather into consideration that much.
Weather?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean Chicago's windy.
It's cold as hell too.
And Vancouver's rainy. But, yeah.
Honestly, if I could pick, I would choose a warm place.
Yeah, right. That's what.
Like Thailand.
Like
LA.
LA. But I don't know if LA, because like there's so many fucking
LA's nice too, yeah.
people and so many cars and
Yeah.
a lot of snobby people. I actually loved, like, even though I was in Australia for a little bit, I love Australia.
Yeah, dude, I want to try visiting there.
Dude, something about like warm weather all year round, man, it hits different, bro. It hits different.
Facts.
Ooh. I think I need 4 seasons personally. Like maybe it's the Canadian in me, like I need a winter.
But not
like,
the hotel,
I need
right?
snow. Huh?
But not the hotel, right? Sorry.
Yo, not the hotel. 4 seasons, no Hilton, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree. Like with both your points, actually, I do need 4 seasons because I have a lot of clothes that are catered towards typical seasons, so I can't waste those. First of all, but I see Brian's point because I love good weather, right? Like who doesn't like a sunny 22 degree Celsius, not Fahrenheit, weather, right?
Yeah.
So, but if I had to choose one, I would probably choose better weather. Sorry.
Yeah, that's fair.
Give up my good clothes. Oops.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any countries that you would like to visit that is not considered touristy so far, or new countries that you haven't been to yet? So like something like Togo would be a good example of it.
Like not a hotspot destination.
Tell us about Togo, bro. Why'd you go to Togo? I'm still curious.
Yeah, so I mean, like I went to like similar to you guys, I'm sure, but like I went to Togo for a missions trip. So that was, if people don't know, missions trip is basically when people who are like Christian will go to different countries to help spread the good word.
I thought you were like on a mission to like, sorry.
Mission to save them. spread the kimchi.
That's a vibe, yeah. Yeah, I know what you
Yeah, I mean, like,
it's good heart.
Religion, whatever aside, it was actually such a nice experience meeting.
How long were you there?
Togolese people. I was there for a month.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and like the kind of experiencing a bit of that, like, I mean, I think Togo at the time it was spring, so it wasn't too hot, and Togo as a country, from what I remember, is like fairly, like it's not there's no like political charge or anything, like there's no conflict, so it's like a very chill country, and the people who I met were like all like super sweet. They speak like their native language as well as French, because I think they were like colonized by the French. So a bit of my grade 6 French came through. They're like, oh, like, something, and I'd be like, oh, no. And then they called me like Jackie Chan, and I'm like, hey, you can't say that.
Oops.
Yeah, it was sick though. But to answer your question, I think for me, all the countries I want to go to are touristy. Like I've never been to proper Europe. I mean, Iceland's part of Europe, but like it's like Nordic. I consider it more of like the Scandinavians, right? Or the Scandinavia.
Yeah.
So like France, Netherlands, Germany, Greece, all that, right? Like, I haven't visited any of those countries in like Central Europe or even Eastern Europe. So like I would love to go there, but technically it's touristy,
True.
What about you guys?
I don't know. I don't know what's not considered touristy.
I'd be down to go to the Yukon.
Yukon?
You know the starlight? I forgot what it's called.
Yeah, Aurora Borealis.
Yeah, Aurora.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
one. But I don't know if that's considered
That's
touristy.
touristy as fuck.
Oh, I
But
mean,
isn't Yukon's not really touristy
kind of.
though? That's
Yeah,
the
like
thing, right?
who do you know that's like, I just got back from Yukon?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know a few people.
I'd be down to see that.
yeah.
Yeah. That'd be a vibe.
True.
But I probably won't because it's too far and it's too cold. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's not worth it.
I was gonna say, aside from the Northern Lights, I don't know if
There's nothing to it, yeah.
That and like obviously meeting like the indigenous people up north.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah, and like
that's
kind of
fine.
experiencing that culture. There's really not much else.
You can go
Eating
dog
seal,
sledding.
maybe.
Eating will.
Oh, dog sledding would actually be sick.
Yeah, I think people do that.
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
crazy. What about you, Brian?
Somewhere that's not touristy.
Like mine's touristy as fuck.
I don't know. My next bucket list is to go to Spain.
Oh, that's not touristy at all.
Barcelona.
Why would I go to a place somewhere that's not touristy, bro?
No, actually, I do want to go to the Middle East.
Yeah, I will go to Spain, man, because like my brother-in-law and my sister went there like a few years ago, and then like they rented a car and drove everywhere.
Yeah.
And
Spain would be a vibe.
yeah.
I'm down for Spain too.
Sounds like they had a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another place I kind of wanted to go. It's like it's not. I would say it's popular, but it's not touristy. Is like South America, like the Patagonia, like the mountains, and I think it's in Peru, right?
Oh yeah.
I think
Let me fact check that, because I mean, I'm not at that point yet, but
I think it's Peru.
oh, it's in Argentina and Chile.
Sorry.
So, yeah, but Patagonia, like I would want to build myself up to a point to like go backpacking and camping there. Like that would be crazy.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Kind of touristy, kind of popular.
Yeah. So, do you guys want to travel to like a city place or more of like a country landscape type of place? So like New York versus Patagonia. Sorry.
Dude, that's too.
Or-
that's
or
so
like
extreme.
Shanghai or like
Or like northern China,
yeah,
like the small.
like the more countryside or the city side. What do you guys put down for more? If you had to choose. Sorry. For me, I think I choose the prior. So the
Like city,
yeah.
the former.
No, the former, the country, because I feel like the city, it's pretty much actually, no, scratch that. I think Asian life is lit, so I kind of want to experience that if I think about it.
Yeah.
Okay, scratch that. Yeah, oh, that's a tough choice actually.
I'm gonna cop out and say like the kind of cheap answer where it's like I think like both are equally important. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like if I'm
yeah.
going to Italy, I wanna visit the big cities, like the more metropolitan areas, and see like the clubbing life and the social life and all that stuff. But at the same time, I also want to go to like northern Italy and eat like mozzarella cheese out of like some old nona's hand. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I want to experience like that real shit too. So I think a bit of both is nice to get balance of like, you know, more of like the, not like the mainstream, but like I guess like the more, yeah, you know what I mean? You kind of get I think it's to get like a full picture.
All right, facts. All right, true. That makes sense. I would
No, but
agree
like,
with
what
that.
about you guys? Like, I think some people are like, yo, fuck the country, you know, give me a 7-Eleven and I'm good, you know, type beat.
Yeah, I mean, I could see both beauties
Yeah,
in
me too.
both sides. So, or sides, both sides, and beauties sides. What?
I agree with Josh, 100% there.
What a beauty boy. I got a question for you guys. Have you guys had any travel horror stories where maybe it was like things didn't go the way you planned, maybe you ate something that you shouldn't have, or something that made you kind of go like, whoa, I need to like reevaluate or make sure that this doesn't happen again, type thing?
Yeah, I have 2 stories already.
Go ahead.
One was I was in Thailand, and one thing about these like Southeast Asian countries is you shouldn't drink like water from the tap, you know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So then I was at one of these temples, and like it was hot as fuck, and then there's like a water fountain station, and in the front it said like filtered water. So I was like, oh, okay, I guess this is okay. Like I can
Safe
drink
enough.
this. Yeah, safe enough. Little did I know I'd drink that. Oh man, I had like the worst diarrhea the next day. Like I literally wasted a whole day just staying at home, like at the hostel. And then I remember it was the day where Conor McGregor fought like Khabib,
Oh shit.
and Conor McGregor lost.
Yeah.
So we like me and my couple like hostel people like went to like a bar to watch that fight, but like I could not sit for like a good 5 minutes straight without like having to go to the bathroom.
Damn,
Jesus.
that sounds bad.
Yeah, it was fucked.
That sounds shitty.
Yeah.
Damn. What was the second one?
And then the second one was actually this was in Vietnam. I went to this place called Hoi An, and it's like a very beautiful place. Like it's a pretty touristy area. It's very like cute, romantic kind of place. And then I had to take the taxi back that night back to this place called Da Nang. It was like maybe like a 30-minute cab ride.
Yeah.
And then like I read somewhere that the cab drivers in Da Nang or in Hoi An are like part of the mafia. Like their cab services are run by mafia.
Like Italian mafia?
No, like
Vietnam.
Like the
Vietnamese.
Yeah, Vietnamese are like the gang and shit.
Yeah.
The gang.
So then they had like their own version of taxis in Hoi An. And then there's like an Uber version of like taxis where you can call on your phone and they'll come pick you up. So I was like walking around. It was maybe around like 10 o'clock at night. And then one of the local taxi drivers like pulled up to me and they're like, oh, like, do you need a ride? And then, so I was like, I had to go home. So I took that cab. And like, it was kind of sketchy because like you had to negotiate how much like you want to pay to get to that destination. So then like we ended up talking and then we couldn't work out on a deal. So, but then the cab driver was still driving. So I'm like, oh, like I want to get out. Like I'll just call something else. Like just let me get out. And then we kind of like the tension just kind of got intense. Yeah. So I ended up like leaving that cab, and then I was gonna call like the Uber version of the taxi. Yeah. So then while I'm waiting, like while I'm on my phone trying to call them, like he's like, okay, like I'll do it for like whatever price, like you said. Yeah. So then I was like, oh, like I knew I shouldn't have like taken that deal because like I don't know, I just felt kind of sketchy and wrong. Yeah. But then I don't know why, but I said yes. So then I got back into his cab, and then he started driving me to like my hostel. But like I just remember like this guy was like so antsy, like he was so like anxious, like he was like talking to someone on the phone, he was like shaking. Yeah. So like the whole time I was just like, fuck, like hope he doesn't like turn the corner and then like fucking like rob me or some shit, you know, like because he was like on his phone talking to somebody, and what if he was like, oh, like I have this guy, like let's fucking rob him, you know, I'll meet you here. And I don't know, just like, oh,
this guy looks rich in the back.
Yeah, he's a fucking tourist, you know.
Deal. Let's steal his money.
That's exactly what happened. Like they'll fucking pull up somewhere and then they'll fucking like, you know, rob you or even like kill you and shit. So yeah, you know, it's the mafia. So, and I'm pretty sure
even if it's not the mafia, like just random people in like random countries will just do shit. Yeah.
So
that's kind of scary, dude.
Luckily, so he dropped me off at the place, and yeah, I was just like, fuck, thank God, nothing happened.
You booked it inside.
Yeah.
What if the cab rider was like, or cab driver was like, yo, this guy's so nice in the back. Yeah. Yeah, we managed to get a deal together.
Honey, I'll be home in a bit. I miss you. Meanwhile, Brian's sweating in the back.
Yeah, man.
Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, I don't have anything. I'm usually careful of what I eat, or I guess like water is pretty essential, so Brian had no choice. But I guess I never had the opportunity to go to like a country that has, you know, sanitary problems.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be like crazy extreme.
It's not. Yeah, like I don't like water. The first time I went to Korea and I drank their bottled water, like I had to kind of adjust to it because it's different.
Really? How so?
So like for me it was different because when I drank the bottled water when I first got to Korea, I was having stomach issues.
And really? I know what you mean. Yeah.
Like the first 2-3 days I had to get adjusted.
Yeah.
Really? So I can't imagine if I went to like another, like, you know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
like a Southeast Asian country or something like that.
Yeah.
So like even India, just a quick backstory, I went there like Josh, how he went as a religious missionary trip thing. Yeah, like India I had a hard time because like first of all we weren't at the city, but we just went to like the countryside and we had to eat their food, which was like tough because I'm not used to it.
Yo, I remember because like me and Andrew were both there.
Yeah.
And then
you guys went there together.
And then like we got this, like it was maybe like 4 days in, and we finally got like meat on our plate. And then we were like, yo, sick, yo, let's eat some like beef or whatever. And then like we asked like the fucking chef like what this is, and it's like goat. And we're just like, I don't know, it doesn't sound as bad now, but like it was just like a goat from the backyard that they just killed, and I don't know, it was just we're eating goat, and it wasn't that much meat. It was just like bones and things like that. But
yeah, I remember we brought these like seasoning packets to India.
Oh yeah,
because my parents were like, just bring it just in case, because you never know, right? So I had like a friggin' like shinramyeon packet, like, and you know those onuri like sea flakes.
Yeah.
You just mix it with rice.
yeah.
So the food that we got at this orphanage we're at, it was either like some sort of carb, so like rice or like noodles or whatever it is, but they always have the same curry, like same tasting curry for like breakfast, dinner, lunch, and dinner. So I kind of have a like a sensitive taste thing, so like I can't eat the same thing twice. But like I can't bitch about it because I'm like these kids are like growing up in the countryside of India
on a missions trip.
Yeah, on a mission trip. So what we did was
potatoes.
Yeah. So me and a couple friends, right, went to the back with we just got a plate of rice, and then we went to the back to like our rooms, right, to put the onuri flakes and like shinramyeon, just to like mix it up, like trying to live, right. And then we got caught by our pastor.
Yeah.
We got fucking shat on because like you're not respecting the ritual.
Yeah.
And all that, but like we're in high school, right?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Well, I did something similar. I mean, like not me, because I went with like our missions group we're all Korean people, and then we were in Togo for a couple of days, and then one of them was like, you know, what'd be really good right now, like some gochujang, because like it's like there's nothing that's like kind of like familiar with like the Korean palate there with the food. Mm-hmm. Personally, I loved the food there. It was like, you know, the fufu and all that stuff. It was like amazing. Mm-hmm. But then someone was like, it'd be nice if we had some like gochujang or like kimchi or something. And then one of them like silently just gets up and goes to his room, and then comes back with like the tube gochujang. And like every meal after that, it was like a bit of gochujang in like every like pop and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I can see that being offensive, but at the same time, I think, you know, sometimes the adjustment's a bit hard.
Yeah, I mean, the curry wasn't bad by all means.
Yeah.
It's just the fact that we had to eat it every day for every meal was kind of tough. Mm-hmm. And I think you could argue with any food if you do it, like if you eat it multiple times a day, you'll get bored of it.
Yeah, for sure.
But thankfully, it was just for a week, and then the week later, after that, we went to some pastor's house who cooked us Korean food.
Yeah.
Saving grace.
Bless up, yeah.
Hit different.
In the meantime, I have one. Like, when you guys plan traveling, like trips and things like that, like we talked about this kind of at the beginning. Like Andrew, you said you don't like galleries, right? But what are some things that are like must stops for you guys when you guys are going to a different country or a different city? It could be, you know, Vancouver, or it could be somewhere in like Spain or Italy. You know, like what are some kinds of places that you're like these are places like I have to see wherever I go, kind of thing, or like things that you like seeing?
Yeah, so for me, I definitely have to go to the food places that kind of originate from there. I definitely have to go. So what I mean by that is like Vancouver is kind of known for their sushi. Yeah. So I would try to their sushi, or like LA or the West Coast, they have In-N-Out. Mm-hmm. So I would have to go to In-N-Out. So I think this is for everyone too. Like they gotta eat the food that came from that place.
Yeah.
So I'll say the obvious ones first, and then obviously the landmarks. Those are important too. And I think for me, it depends on if I were going to another place with family or friends. But if I was with friends, probably hit the famous bars there.
Yeah.
Pretty cliche, but you know. Aside from that, that's it. I mean, I'm not really a type of guy to try the thing. I mean, for food, I'd be down to try what the locals eat. Mm-hmm. But aside from that, I'm not really interested in right?
Mhm.
But,
Yeah.
like, not
That's
really
right.
interested in people like living in the countryside, unless it's for food.
Yeah. Brian, what about you?
No, I think Andrew has it pretty spot on. Like you want to hit up, you know, what's popular, what's 5-star on the TripAdvisor,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know. Um, yeah, I think just popular areas, and then maybe like places that people will recommend. Sometimes if you ask the local, they'll show you somewhere better kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, maybe like local restaurants that people recommend, stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
How about you?
Nice. Yeah, I agree. I think I would go. I'd probably dive a little bit deeper. Like I want to visit, like you said, like the must tries, like the places that are like iconic there.
Mm-hmm.
But I also want to try out some of like like you said, like local favorites, places that maybe aren't on like Eater or Yelp or like Yelp or whatever. Like you know, Eater's top 100 restaurants of the city, or like like the up and coming like highlighted things on like YouTube videos, or like Munchies or things like that, right? Those places I kind of want to try. Restaurants, bars, coffee shops.
Yeah.
We touched on this, but yeah, art galleries. I personally love art galleries, like the big ones, like the classics, and then also like the smaller, more contemporary ones, things like that. And then like Andrew mentioned too, like architecture landmarks. When I went to Chicago and stuff too, because Chicago is huge on architecture. It's like I went and like I mapped out all like the really famous architectural sites, like not only like the towers, but also things from like some like one of the more popular houses, or other things outside of the city that were made by like famous architects and stuff like that. So the stuff like that, like I put a lot of time into, and then everything else I'm kind of like more flexible on. Yeah.
So would you? It's kind of like an add-on to, actually not really an add-on, but would you rather travel with someone that likes to plan, or is someone like me who doesn't plan but just pays? And no, but like, because I have a friend that I traveled with before, and he was down for me to just like say okay or not.
Yeah.
Pretty much he would plan everything, and I'll be like, as long as there's no museums, it's okay. And then he just compiles a list for me, and I would kind of go through it and say yes or no. And like for the most part, I'm like pretty chill about it, because I'm down to do what my friends are down to do, because usually like it's in the best mutual interest.
Yeah.
So like for the most part, I was okay with it.
Yeah.
But like how you were talking about, if you were to travel or plan a travel with a friend that wants to go places on like that they want to go to, you have to compromise, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So my question is, like, would you want to go with that type of person, or
yeah, Brian, what do you think?
I would probably prefer like 50-50. Like I don't want to plan the whole thing.
Yeah.
And like if the other person has like things that they want to see, like they might they'd be like, oh, like check this place out, like you guys want to go here.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's more like I don't want to be the only one like doing stuff, like researching and like looking stuff up. So I don't know, some people might, some people just love planning, they want to start from like the beginning till the end, and some people are okay with that. But personally, I think I would appreciate more if both sides did, at least some research,
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I think yeah, I definitely felt, I didn't feel both sides, but I can see like, one side it's like too many cooks in the kitchen, right? It's like, I want to go here, but it's like, well, are we making plans? Are we making time for like things I want to do? Or it's like everyone wants to do everything, so it's like, right? And then also the other side is like, one person's doing everything, so it's tough. I agree. I think balance is good, and like you mentioned, especially in the most recent Vancouver trip, like a lot of things that were like kind of unexpected. There were a lot of unplanned events and things like that, and it was because some of the other guys like thought of other places to stop by that we were like, oh, like this is actually like really good. And it wasn't like on my list to go. So having that definitely opened up more opportunities to stop by different places and things like that. But I think for me, there are like set things that I can't compromise on, like galleries or like if there's like a really famous architectural site that I have to see, like, and we're going all the way there, then like I would just say like all good, like I'll just go by myself kind of thing. You know what I mean? To like make sure that it works out for the team. But yeah. I kind of operate a bit more like that, I guess.
Fair enough.
Any closing thoughts?
I think I'm gonna say I think it's good to travel when you're young because you have so much time.
Yes, sir.
And you won't have it when you start full time. So if you enjoy traveling, I would recommend traveling when you're younger, when you can. Obviously, it's case by case because, like, for me, I don't really like to travel, so I didn't do it. And I'm not really regretting it, so that's the important part.
Yeah,
I agree. I think personally, I don't know, I guess Andrew feels different, but I think one of the things about enjoying life and, being alive is to explore, what's out there, what's out in the world.
Definitely.
So, yeah, I guess to each their own, but, I like, I try to travel at least once a year somewhere. But yeah, I could back that up, travel when you're young because, you're not going to have the time or energy as you get older. I highly recommend trying backpacking on your own or even with a friend. And just don't be afraid to go out there because, people are nice. I mean, I know, there are cases of people like,
that taxi driver.
Yeah, like taxi drivers and shit like that and stuff that you see on the internet or whatever. But
yeah,
most of the time, like, as long as you're smart, like, as long as you do your research, like, nothing's gonna happen. Like, you'll have a great time. And man, like one thing is like you go out on a full day with your hostel friends, and then you come back to the hostel, and then you just go have like a like a beer with everybody.
Yeah,
dude, it hits different, man. It hits different.
It does.
But yeah, man, can't wait to travel again.
Yeah, dude, same. Honestly, yeah, like at the end of the day, and this is something like, when I was in China, when I was in Iceland, when I was in Togo, and I'm sure like when I hit up Europe next year or whatever, like I'll feel the same thing. But at the end of the day, it's like we're all the same people. You know what I mean? Everyone you meet there, it's like it's important to, I guess, realize that, we're all just, at the end of the day, we're all just people. And like you said, going out, traveling, seeing other cultures and experiencing those things, like, widens your horizons as a person. So if you can do it, I'd say do it. Yeah. Take me with you. God damn it.
I agree. If you want to do it, do it.
Hell yeah.
All right. With that being said, guys, we hope you guys enjoyed this week's episode on traveling. We just shared a little bit about our experiences and our thoughts on the topic. So if you guys resonated with any of us, just leave us a comment, DM us, and we'll be sure to get back to you.
Yeah. And if you want to follow our social media accounts, you can follow us at our Instagram page at The Young and Finch. And you could check out some other cool contents there.
Yes, sir. Don't forget to follow us on Spotify. You can find our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts.
Get your podcast.
Yeah, and if you have any good travel stories, or you disagree, or you agree, let us know. We'd love to hear from you guys.
Yes, sir.
All right, guys. Have a great week.
All right, guys. See you next time.
Peace.